Morning, I'm Kevill Davies. If you've read recently any book by a prominent scientist, a cosmologist, particle physicist, you can't fail to have noticed one thing, that they all seem to suggest that there's still something missing, that they're waiting for the next big idea to solve some of the paradoxes of nature. For the past 100 years, we have had the Big Bang theory, quantum theory, string theory, relativity. We seem to have been on the verge of knowing the theory of everything, and yet after 100 years it's still not happened. Scientists are still waiting for this next big idea. And we've been at it for 40,000 years really, since Cro-Magnon or early European humans with their slightly bigger brain than ours came about, evolved. These were people who crafted figurines, personal ornaments, painted. They must have looked at the skies and wondered, like we do, what's it all about? They surely divined gods, probably dabbled in witchcraft, probably believed in ghosts. Later, 500, 600, 700 years before the modern era, writing, the philosophers, the golden age of philosophy, took advantage of the relatively new science of writing, and philosophy came into its fore. People were able to think in the abstract, consider the emotions, human emotions such as love. What was the meaning of life, and what did we understand by consciousness? Plato, Kant and Newton felt there was something else as well. Plato with his noumenal world, Kant with his transcendental world, and Newton, who always felt there was something there, but he could never discover it, but which he referred to by the Greek term the ether. It wasn't only science, it was philosophers, the religions also played a part. The Taoism, these were people that thought that the Tao was the origin of all being, it had no being itself. And then came the Abrahamic religions, the monotheists, with their idea of heaven. Blaise Pascal, about this time, a 17th century philosopher, in his work Pensées, observed that man is halfway between knowing nothing and knowing everything, but the ends and beginnings are impregnably concealed in an impenetrable secret. He went on to say that mankind is equally incapable of seeing the nothingness from which he was drawn and the infinite in which he is engulfed. I think that's very true to this day. Spinoza tried to bring religion into it by suggesting that really God was in fact nature. But what if Plato, Kant and Newton were right? What if there is something unknowable, something out there that so far scientists with their Cartesian ideas of empiricism and rationality can't see? Why is it that nobody has been able to show the part played by what I will call spiritualism, for want of a better word? That is, until now. In my book, Spiritual Man, An Introduction to Negative Dimensions, and in the series of talks on YouTube called the Davies Hypothesis, I demonstrate how we can quantify spiritual values with reference to I, the mathematical notion of the square root of -1, itself an unknowable, inconceivable figure or number, important in electronics as it is, important in chaos and number theories, but it still cannot be perceived by mankind. It is through this approach that we've been able to explain some of the paradoxes unexplained by science, such as the flood of time and the very creation of the universe. Read my booklet, Spiritual Man, or listen to the talks, The Davies Hypothesis, on YouTube for free, and make up your own mind.